Hey, we're here. It's Chat with Matt. It is the 12th of June here in New Zealand. It's 2019 still. I think it's episode 23. That's what I put on the top of my thing, so that's what we're going with, unless I'm wrong, in which case I'll change it afterwards. Or I'll have a look down the list and see, I've already done 23, or what happened to 22. Anyway, here we are, it's Chat with Matt, 30 minutes to shoot the breeze, deliver some content about whatever you guys are keen to hear. Hey, Sister Mary. Miss Sister Mary has written in already on the, whatever we call that, notification post about nausea. Maybe we'll start there. I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. I have created a bit of a perfect storm for myself in terms of instigating some release and some discomfort and moving through a whole heap of my own resistance around stepping forward and being seen in bigger ways. So that is awesome. I'm dealing with that reasonably well. The anxiety's starting to build a little as I've really put myself under the screws to get things done and complete. I've set myself very tight time frames and, taken the island and burnt the boats as a famous Tony Robbins quote, gone all in, stated that I'm starting a new program, sold places to that program. Now I have to produce that program. Awesome, and it's starting in like 5 days. So that's great, right? And I haven't got one piece of content finished yet. It's going to be created as we go, but all the same, that's making me feel quite nervous, which is awesome, right? Which is awesome and not very comfortable. But I shall succeed, and that will help me to overcome this, self-doubt stuff, because that's what we need to do. The only way we get stronger is to exercise, and the way of exercise is, putting ourselves under strain. That's it, right? That's how we get better at dealing with life. That's how we overcome overwhelm, right? Is we put ourselves in what was once an overwhelming situation and we do better at it. Slowly but surely we increase our threshold and what we can deal with, and we become a more empowered human. On all levels, right? So we're dancing in the spiritual, and we're dancing in the external, and we're dancing with the emotional, and we're dancing with the mental, and we're dancing with the physical. It's all happening, and it's none of it's isolated. It's all related. So, my friends, anyway, that's just making an excuse for why I'm a little bit croaky this morning, because I'm releasing some big stuff. Anyway, shall we start with Mary's question, seeing as Mary is here, and we're also going to talk a bit about sleep. By the look of it, just quickly reading through Sandhya and Sari Grace's post. But anyway, Sister Mary wrote in, I've been experiencing nausea for about 7 days, and it starts from the time I wake up. I have tried ginger, as that usually helps, but notice that the feelings and thoughts that this generates can be quite overwhelming. I get some reprieve when I take my anti-anxiety medication. There is no pain involved, no throwing up. Could this be emotional? Yeah, definitely it could be emotional, Mary. Interesting, 7 days ago, I think we had a talk, did we not? I'm pretty sure it would have been pretty close to 7 days ago. You had a strategy session with us, and we basically gave you a big giddy up about stepping forward and not using excuses, that you were using at the time, without giving the game away. You want to step forward into a more creative pursuit and show up on this planet in a bigger way, but you're scared that someone's going to quote unquote steal it. And we basically told you to get over that and to go and be creative. And so that fear of someone else stealing it and you needing to get copyright and all of this overwhelming intellectual stuff that you needed to do before you could start being creative was protecting you against being creative and failing, right? Having your creativity not appreciated, not accepted, or whatever the big fear of, or being seen and becoming very popular, right, might also be the fear. But anyway, there's obviously a lot of resistance in your field about doing a bigger job of your creative pursuit, right, in your dream. And we talked about some other dreams of yours and how you'd like to live on this planet. And we basically helped you to understand that there's nothing really stopping you. which is terrifying, right? Because all of the excuses that you've been using, mental excuses that you've been using, keep you small and safe and give you basically an excuse for not stepping forward. When someone helps you to see that the excuses aren't valid, that's a huge amount of empowerment and freedom, and also incredibly scary. So yes, the nausea that you're feeling could quite easily be attributed to the anxiety that's been stirred up, thanks to me and Tara, being stirred up by encouraging you to step through your resistance and to start actually doing it. We've had a whole heap of people. Hey, Sister Robin from Victoria, BC. Hey, Melita, sister, how are you? Well, that's all. I thought there was a whole heap of people, but that's it. And I also don't want to, be totally medically, what's that word? If I was being irresponsible and saying, don't worry, the nausea is nothing to worry about, because I'm not sure. I'm simply not sure, sitting on this side of the world, that your nausea is not linked to something that needs or could benefit from medical attention. But I trust what you feel, right? I trust what you feel, and I'd encourage you to trust what you feel. So, definitely I get nauseous and all sorts of other symptomology when I am pushing through my own anxiety, for want of a better term, my own fears, right? That's all anxiety is. It's just perpetuating fear-based thought loops, right? Loops of thought that tend to overwhelm us and create a stress response loop where we are stressed because we're stressed. That's what anxiety is, right? We're stressed because we're stressed. And it can be difficult to step out of that, right? So tactics to help you step through it is, one, to stop, drop, and breathe, right? I like to breathe in for a count of 4 through my nose, breathe out for a count of 8 through my mouth. And if you wish to, take it to the next level, then as you're breathing in, you are imagining, envisaging, choosing, if you like, to align with the light that you are, to really feel safe and confident and strong in the core of your being with a beautiful light, a beingness. And as you breathe out, you are just allowing that light to radiate out through you, which is both purifying and protecting and inspirational, right? It's inspirational is not really the right word. The inhalation is more inspirational, but the radiation of your light is what's the right word? It brings things in, right? It brings things in. It attracts the right things into your life. So it's beneficial. That's what it is. But there's another word I was looking for. But anyway, so yeah, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 8, allowing yourself to really relax as you exhale. Not trying to push away your stress. It's just relaxing through it. Just remembering that the stress that you're feeling is just loops of energy that are from the past, right? Most of it is not related so much to the current situations you're facing. Yeah, the current situations are triggering that and giving your mind an excuse as to why you feel anxious, scared, doubtful, whatever you're feeling. But generally, the majority of the emotional energy that's behind that fear is left over in your field from past traumas that you have not yet released, haven't dealt with, haven't found forgiveness around, or whatever it might be. Haven't let go of the judgment that you're carrying. A lot of the stuff that we hold in our field, we're holding because we're still judging the experience as wrong, or the people who did it as wrong. And we're holding on to this energy like it's some sort of evidence that we're going to, produce in a court someday to prove that they did it wrong and that I'm the victim. Unfortunately, that day in court doesn't come, and you basically poison yourself by hanging on to the evidence. So that's what forgiveness is. It's basically choosing to let go of the idea that someone or something has done something wrong, including yourself, so that you can let go of all of this emotional or traumatic, energetic evidence that you're carrying that a wrongness was done, right? So you can basically set yourself free, and you can move on in a much less encumbered way. And that's what's important, because we're not here to be right, and we're not here to get it right, and we're not here to prove anything. We're here to live and experience the living that we do. Hey, Sister Anita, how are you? So, nausea is very common, and I've shared before how I've been nauseous to the point of actually throwing up before doing something that I perceived was risky, e.g. going on a telesummit, right, and sharing my gifts with the world, or something else, stepping forward and launching a product. I'm not feeling particularly comfortable in myself right now for exactly the same reason, right? Because I'm stepping up in a bigger way and doing something new starting in just a few days. So it's uncomfortable. And it's just a matter of bringing an empowered attitude to that discomfort. It's about putting a positive spin on the fact that we've triggered a whole heap of fear inside of ourselves, or we've triggered a whole heap of anxiety or discomfort in some way as we help ourselves. I could say push, but we're basically helping ourselves move through our resistance so we can show up in bigger and more exciting, more expansive ways on this planet, which feels really purposeful and then inspires joy and happiness in ourselves. Awesome. So let's move on. Thank you, Mary, for that question. It's awesome because it is quite common that we feel a little bit sickly when we're choosing to make a big step forward. And it's easy for us, some of us, to go, oh, I'm not feeling well, this must be a mistake, right? Oh, I don't, obviously the universe doesn't want me to do this because I feel so terrible about it. And it's not the case. It's not the case. Don't use your discomfort as indication that what you're doing is quote unquote wrong or inappropriate, because quite often the discomfort is actually very much the opposite. It's an indication that you are taking a massive step forward into something that would benefit you, and the discomfort is just the resistance that you're carrying. And part of the benefit to doing the thing is to be free of the resistance. Okay, so Sister Sandhya wrote in, it's funny, and it doesn't seem funny really, but I know what you mean. It's peculiar how sleeping in a different bed can put kinks in our body. It's like trying to adjust to someone else's ideas and theories, beliefs and presence. How do you make it a more comfortable process? And, there was a couple of replies. The first one was reasonably humorous, if I remember. So Sister Sicilian wrote in, by spooning and cuddling with the owner of the bed until both energies fit, if it's doable and appealing, which is a fair enough answer, except for the fact I don't think Sandy is actually sharing this bed with someone. She's gone to stay with relatives and is sleeping in someone else's bed, right? MK wrote in pillows and body pillows if possible. And Sister Sari wrote in and said she's got the same issue. She's been sleeping in a bed that's not hers for the last 6 months because her dad's in hospital, and obviously she's staying closer to him. So yeah, sleeping in a different bed is an interesting experience. Some of us do a lot of it, some of us hardly do it at all, right? Our own bed is a particularly comfortable space, both physically and energetically. Sleeping is an inherently dangerous thing to do for humans. It has been forever. Any animal, for that matter, while we're asleep, we're particularly vulnerable to attack. And so finding a comfortable, safe place to sleep is very important. Of course, in our modern day and age, as humans, we've kind of, don't really realize that, because we're not sleeping out in the woods anymore. We're not worried about bears or other animals, other predators, or other humans for that matter, so much today attacking us in our sleep. So, but deep down, we still have that instinctual desire to be very confident, right, about where we're sleeping so that we can sleep deep. So when we go to a different bed, that can be an issue for us, especially if we are very habituated to the bed that we usually sleep in, right? Some people are better at it than others because they're just basically more practiced at it, and they have a body of evidence to say that they've slept in lots of different beds and they've always been safe. And so therefore they can sleep in a new bed and choose to be safe as well and choose to relax into it. Whereas others of us who have slept in the same bed most of the time don't have that body of evidence. So a new bed is a little bit more anxiety inducing, right? Anxiety inducing. So part of the kinks in the body is about not being able to fully relax into the bed, right? Because if you're a little bit apprehensive about the current environment you're in, and understand this is very much subconscious more than a conscious thing. We can feel logically very safe in the bed we're in, but there's part of us that recognizes as we're asleep out of conscious mind that we're not in our normal space, and therefore we're maintaining a sense of alertness or a sense of physical tension in our body that has us waking up feeling a little bit stiff and sore and not so rested. Of course, there's also the obvious logical reason that this bed is not molded to your shape, right? And potentially it's not even that, it's worse, it's molded to someone else's shape that might be completely different to yours, and thus it's putting pressure in spots that you are not used to and your body doesn't really appreciate. So that's on the physical. And then there's the energetic state of what a bed carries, right? A bed is very close to us physically as we're having all sorts of dreams and energetic, emotional experiences in our sleep. We do a lot of processing in our sleep, much of which our conscious mind doesn't remember. And so a bed and a bedroom in general can carry a lot of energy. And that's why I produced a track in the sleep package that we launched not so long ago about clearing bedrooms, right? Exactly for that reason. Because a bedroom and the furnishings in a bedroom, particularly the bed, carry a lot of personal energies from past inhabitants, right? A lot of personal energies, and some of it's, a lot of clearing energies. A lot of trauma is released. Even our own trauma is released while we sleep, and it's a great idea to clear it out from time to time with some sort of intentional process, whether that's an MP3 energy track or whether it's just going in there and choosing to clear the space with, for example, your instruments, Sandia, as a sound healer, to go in with an intention to clear out the energy in that room. You can just walk around the room clapping with an intention to just shift energies that are not conducive to your sleep, to your comfort, right? And we can do this in any space that we inhabit, an office, our own little cubicle, right? You don't have to make a big song and dance. You don't need to go and smudge the shit out of it with a sage. Or you can do if that's really what you want to do, but you don't have to. Whatever you believe is going to work for you to shift the energies out of that space so that it can be more clear and more conducive to your happiness will work as long as you have confidence in it. Hello, Sister Hayley and Sister Georgina. We're talking about sleep in other people's bed, not necessarily with the other person, but it's the same, right? If we're dating someone new and end up sleeping in the same bed, it might not be so easy for us to rest deep because we're not used to that space. There's all sorts of different energies in that room, in that space, and it affects us. We're crazy to think that it doesn't affect us because it affects us greatly, and just most people are not sensitive to it, right? So the more sensitive we become, the more we feel these things that aren't serving us, right? Which is a blessing and a bit of a curse. But it's a blessing because we're given awareness of what's not serving us, and in some ways we just want to be blind to it. Our ego self just wants to be blind to it, and we just want a good sleep. Bugger it, I don't care if I'm soaking in someone else's energies that's really uncomfortable. I just want to sleep, right? But as we become more sensitive, we just don't get away with that. We have to do something about it. So you have to clear those energies out. So, it's not a... So, you basically said it. It's like trying to adjust to someone else's ideas, theories, beliefs, and presence. And you don't really need to you don't have to do that. I'd clear those person's beliefs out of there. And it's not going to damage them in any way. They can come back and put their beliefs, theories, presences, and vibration back in the room. There'll be enough of them left there anyway. But anyway, how does that go? How does that sound? Hopefully that helped. Sister Sari also wrote in. How am I going for time? I've also been having sleep issues, sleeping in a different bed past 6 months because Dad's in hospital. Oh, hang on, that's the old comment. Here we go. Matt, mine is more of severe exhaustion issue. Like I commented above, I'm not sleeping regular hours because of my dad's illness, and I also became ill. I want my body to rest, but feel like I'm dragging it. Going out of my something, it's not actually written, going out of my to help others when needed. I know it's something that I need to correct at my cost. Yeah, so exactly. There's a lot going on here, Sari. The exhaustion that you're feeling is a mixture of energies. It's not just the lack of sleep, although lack of sleep obviously doesn't help, but your dad's ill and you're hanging around potentially the hospital, right? Or is that right? Or maybe not. Dad was hospitalized. If you're going into a hospital regularly, and as a sensitive being, it's very, very likely that you're picking up a lot of dense energies in there, and that's why you're dragging your body around, right? Because you're processing a lot of energy of a lot of trauma and a lot of grief and a lot of fear and a lot of all sorts of other energies that hang out in hospitals, right? The walls are absolutely dripping in it because there's been so much trauma and experience there, heavy experiences. So it's going to really serve you to spend some time doing energetic self-care. Now, I'm not a big one on getting all fear-based and putting up walls of protection and all of that BS. Not that it is BS, I shouldn't really say that. It does work in a way, but the way I like to do it is to put more effort into choosing to embrace the energy that you are and choosing to radiate your energy out as a beacon so that you stop sponging up other energies. So that just requires you to spend some time consistently, not a huge amount of time, but it's more about the consistency. And I've talked about this before on Chat with Mats, is to spend time to stop and breathe and align with who you are, right? Breathing in the light that you are, breathing out to have it radiating out around you. In fact, I did it just 20 minutes ago on this live stream. Take a nice big breath in, align with the light, feel it, visualize it, be it in your core, and as you exhale, you let it radiate out through you. As it radiates out through you, it's cleansing you from the inside out. It's radiating out around you to create a buffer, a positive flow of high vibrational energy, protects you from low vibrational energy. You know, dirt or rubbish doesn't float upstream in a river, right? It gets washed downstream. If you've got a positive flow of energy coming out from within you, you're both cleansing your own dirt out from within you and you're stopping everyone else's dirt from coming into you. It's a very, very beneficial way. And the third great thing about doing that, so first is that it's purifying for yourself, second that it's protecting for yourself, and third, it actually allows others to see the resonance that you are, which then attracts the right people into your life and the right opportunities and the right situations that align with you. So threefold benefit to allowing yourself to radiate out that way. So that's it. And that's going to help your dad, that's going to help yourself, that's going to help everyone in that hospital if you can keep choosing to do that, right? Right, so we'll look at some of the other benefits in doing that. As you keep breathing in your light and allowing it to radiate out around you, you are going to feel more inherently safe and worthy and confident in yourself because you will actually be vibrating more with your own light and less with the implanted or indoctrinated vibrations from the past. The traumas that you're carrying in your field might be coming up a little bit more intensely from time to time because that is also part of the process of transformation and release. But generally, you will have a deeper foundation in the being that you be, and that inherently allows you to feel more safe, worthy, and confident in yourself, which then allows you to sleep more deeply and make decisions better and sleep in other people's beds in other places in a much more restful way, right? Because you basically start to carry less anxiety as a general foundation, right? I'm just describing how I'm going through another wave of anxiety as I prepare to start a new course on Monday. So I'm just answering your question, Sari. Welcome. Hey, Gemma, you're here too. So the anxiety that I've been feeling is very surface level. It's there, it's present, I'm aware of it, it is influencing me, definitely. But underneath that, I have the foundation or the maturity to know what's going on. So I'm not lost in the anxiety that I'm feeling. I'm choosing to maintain an empowered attitude towards it so that I catch it catch it more regularly and choose to breathe my way through it, even though it's building up, and I'm, noticing and I'm looking at my lists and I'm thinking, shit, I've got a lot to get done, and, is it really possible? And of course it's always possible, and of course do I really need to get it done? And if I just keep holding my faith and my trust in what's unfolding, then it will always work out for the highest and best good, and I just need to deal with the various, immature ways that my personality, my ego wants to deal with it, e.g. distraction, procrastination, right? All sorts of tactics to avoid doing what would really serve me. It's a game. So yeah, hashtag deep breath. Exactly, Sari. So you just keep choosing to radiate your own light out and trust that will help you dance in the situations that you're dancing in, which are difficult, right? Your dad's ill, hospitalized, and you're, not living at home, and it's very, very unsettling, and you're coming into contact with a lot of other energies that are not very conducive to your comfort. So the more that you can stay in your confidence and radiate out your light as a beacon, the better off you're going to be, and the better off everyone around you is going to be. That's the truth. Yeah, I'll admit, when you start radiating out as a beacon, some people don't like it. And that's okay, right? You just need to be able to deal with that. We're not here on this planet to please everyone. We're not. So be willing to, radiate your light out with confidence, and trust that will really attract in beautiful and intimate ways, and not, necessarily physically intimate, but intimate ways, the people who really align with you, and it will repel people who don't align with you, which is fantastic, right? Because you don't really need people who don't align with you in your life. And so that's, a big fat benefit. Awesome. So yeah, if you, when this is replaying, which will be in a few minutes after we've finished, you can go back and read the rest of it, listen to the rest of it, Sister Sari. It's towards the end of this spiel. So my friends, that's pretty much us. We've got a minute or two left of chat with Matt. So keep on keeping on, keep on choosing to breathe. I am almost filled this course that I'm starting, this pilot program for. This course I intend to be ongoing. It's called The Bright Light Attraction, maybe full stop, The Bright Light Attraction. But another title for it, I've got multiple titles, I still haven't settled on one. That's how settled I am with this new offering, is the Bright Light Client Attraction Program. So it's basically around attracting if you're a facilitator or a healer or any sort of service provider really who works with clients, then this course is designed to help you bring to you clients who really align with you, because they're the most fun to co-create with, as opposed to producing our services or our products and then trying to attract anyone to buy it, right? We're really here. I'm really finding that it's much, 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 much more fun and productive and purposeful to attract in the people who really resonate with me, really align with me, and then co-create programs with them to serve them to the best. They get great results. You feel really good delivering the programs. And it's like, working with people who you get along with the whole time. So that's what I'm here to help others do. If you're interested in that, you can still reach out to me and we'll set up a, what do we call those things? Strategy session, 45-minute phone call for free. And we can talk about that stuff and see if you're a good fit for this program, and whether or not you embrace the program, whether or not you sign up for the program or not. I will guarantee you, because I've just done about 30 of them in the last 2 weeks, these strategy sessions, you will gain benefit. I have not had one person get off the phone not absolutely thrilled with the experience they had in the strategy session. And that's not an invitation for everyone to just jump in and get a strategy session if they're in no way, shape or form intending to do the course that I'm offering, because I don't have time for that. Not now anyway, I'm quite busy. But if you do feel that this is an opportunity that's really aligning with you and you think, oh shit, I don't want to miss out, I do have 2 spots left currently before I run this course starting Monday next week. So if you feel that might fit you, then please don't hesitate. Otherwise, I will be opening this course up again in a few months' time and running it again. It'll probably be more expensive, mind you. We'll see, and it'll probably be a little bit more automated. That's the plan, to have it running a little bit with less of my personal attention. But this first time through, obviously, will be a lot of me. That's the benefit of jumping in early, even though it might not be as polished. It will be a lot more personal. Anyway, my friends, that's enough of that. I will speak to you again next week, if not before. Much love to you all. Bye for now. Bye-bye.